Today I'm going to show you how to remove the top spool cover on a Smith Corona Sterling. First thing we're going to do is remove two screws on the side. We're going to move the carriage to the side there, and we're going to remove these two screws on each side, right here and right here. There's no other screws in the area besides this back one, and that one goes to the back panel, so we can just easily find these two screws and remove them. I'm using this flathead, but sometimes these screws can be a little skinny, so you can use something smaller like this little one I got up here. That works too. But if your tip on your screwdriver is too fat, you might need to find a smaller screwdriver. And these are the two screws on this side, same exact location, and there's no other screws in the area. This one and this one right there. There's another screw back here, but that goes to the back panel. And I have this little cup so they don't get lost. They can get lost inside the machine too, so you want to be careful. And now we're just going to lift this upright, get a better view. We're just going to lift this upright and just wiggle it out. You don't want to force it or else it might bend. These little parts are thin and it just comes right out. Now to put it back in, same way it comes out, but I'll show you the slot that they go into. There's a slot on each side. And you can see it right underneath the track. Right there, that little slot. And it screws into the back of these. And these right there. So you want to have, this is where it screws into. So you want to have it on the outside of that. But self-explanatory. So when you put this in, just make sure that it's in front of that screw hole and it goes right into the slot. Sometimes you can just dangle it over it and it fits right in. Side, just get lucky. Just be patient with it, you get lucky. That one went right in. And now we're going to check this side here. And that one went in too. Now if you don't get this side in on the first try, you're just going to have to keep trying, because if you move the carriage, then this handle gets in the way and you can't lift it up high enough, and then you start rubbing against that. You don't want to do that, so you just keep trying to get it, and once you do, you can see that it's lined up with those holes where it screws into. So that's when you know you have it in. And then we're just going to screw those screws back in. Start with this. We can start with this side. We're going to put them in tight, but not too tight, just enough to hold it on, because if you put them on too tight, you might not be able to get the other side lined up right. You have to loosen them and realign it. And this could take a little bit more patience, because especially if your screwdriver doesn't have a magnetic tip on it. I don't want to line those up. I'm shaky. I just had coffee. A little shaky. We're going to get the other screws and just put them in. Just like that. So tight enough to hold it in, but not too tight to where you can't move. So on this side, you can see that they're lined up. Just want to make sure they're lined up. Self-explanatory. Make sure they're in straight. You don't want to strip these out. They should go right in without any force. Just gotta make sure they're lined up. And now that this side's lined up, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it all the way. Just enough to get it nice and tight. Not too much, doesn't need to be torqued in there at all, because this part of the machine doesn't require any kind of high torque. So now you're just going to make sure that it's aligned properly and it opens and closes like normal, and that's it.